Sammy here. Welcome to Sammy's Tarot Astrology reading. I am so happy to be here with you tonight, and you might notice that once again we have a different background than usual because today I am actually in a very beautiful place in Florida by the Rainbow River celebrating my honeymoon. Yesterday I got married to the woman of beyond my dreams, and it was a tiny ceremony that we did at home, and we're excited to be able to celebrate with people as time goes on, when and where we can around the world. But it was very special to us to be able to do that on 11/11 and to say our actual vows to be pronounced wives at 11:11 a.m. on 11/11. So I'm sorry, I'm actually meant to do a live last night, but we were wiped out and just went straight to sleep. But we're back here today, and I wanted to take this time to be with you and to do our ritual together. So what we'll do is we'll start by taking a few deep breaths and meditating, listening to the infinitely connecting sound of Om together, and then I'll talk a little bit about what's happening in the stars and in the sky. And then after that, we have a very special reading tonight because as a wedding gift, my incredible, sweet, amazing wife bought me something that I've been wanting for a long time but didn't think to get for myself. But I was just weeping with joy when we went through this together because it's the Modern Witch Tarot deck, and it's full of beautiful women of color, femmes, and mask, and all along the spectrum there's just all kinds of beautiful women in this deck. And at the same time, the deck has done an incredible job of I don't know the name of the person who created it, I have to find that out, but the deck does an amazing job of keeping the major symbols and the archetypical designs that were part of the Rider-Waite tarot deck that is kind of like the standard, and that was actually designed and painted by a woman. So I think it's incredible how they were able to make this deck modern and women of color, but still at the same time keep some of those elements from the first design. And it's perfect, it's beautiful, and this is what we'll be reading from tonight. So you know what we do next. We're going to take a few deep breaths together, and then I'll play the sound bowl and we will chant Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, a chant that first allows us to connect with our true self, our pure love, infinite nature, timeless, essential self, which is all one with everything else. And then Shanti means peace, and it's about bringing peace in all time, in all directions, in the past, present, and future. So let's take 3 deep breaths and then chant together. stars in the sky. Right now, we're in a very special moment where the moon and Venus are at the same point in the sky from us. And Venus is the planet of love, and the moon is our emotions and our unconscious and our internal selves and the shadow self. And so what we have right now at this moment today and somewhat into tomorrow into Friday the 13th is a beautiful opportunity for us to feel very lovey-dovey, to be in touch with our emotions of love, for it to be easy to feel love and to connect with others, and to express love and to really enjoy love. So that is a very nice thing that we get today and tomorrow. But by later on tomorrow, the moon will move from Libra into Scorpio, where the moon will be until the new moon on the 15th. And so when the moon moves into Scorpio, Mercury is waiting there, because Mercury, as we know, had gone from Libra into Scorpio, went retrograde back into Libra, now is making its way through Scorpio again. So tomorrow, Mercury, the planet of communication, will be aligned with the moon. And so just like today, Thursday the 12th, going into the beginning of Friday the 13th, how Venus and the moon are together, and love is very easy and emotionally harmonious. Tomorrow, communication, that's what it's going to be like. So communicating our thoughts and our ideas in our own minds for ourselves, and then outwards to those around us, that's going to be easy and harmonious. So tomorrow, if you have ideas you're working on, conversations you want to have, it's a really beautiful time to do that. It's also a time where we will be communicating from that emotional place. So if you have more business-like or contractual or financial situations that you're communicating about, having the moon with Mercury, it doesn't mean you shouldn't. It's still going to be great, but it is good to remember that with all of that emotional sensitivity, it's also good to think things through with your mind, with a clear mind, because it's going to be an emotional experience to communicate, and that gives it extra power, but it also calls for a bit of, what's the word? Observance, just to observe whether the emotions are coming from a place of love and kindness and sensitivity, or whether they're coming from someplace else, and then if so, to refocus that as usual. So that's what's going on. And then we have the new moon in Scorpio in 2 days on the 15th, and the new moon is a time, so we've been talking through the full and new moons about how the new moon is a great time for focus and planning and creation, a lot of effort and vision, and looking forward to the future, and having plans and ideas and goals and setting up what it is that we want to create. Whereas the full moon is a little bit more about celebration and giving thanks for what we have and what we've done, and just being in the moment and feeling that and enjoying that and releasing too much expectation or worry or whatever. But the new moon, which we are coming up on in a couple days, is a time of more effort and thoughtfulness and creativity. And so having the new moon in Scorpio time, it's like, okay, how do I want to transform? What do I want to create that allows for positive transformation in myself and others? And that should be really nice. It's a great time for making intentions, coming up with plans and steps, and making sure you know what your next concrete actions are for the different things that you are excited to create. And then in 15 days from then, so from the 15th to the 30th, that's when we have our full moon. And the full moon's going to be in Gemini. It's going to be a party, November 30th, of celebrating and sharing and having fun. So let's just hit this new moon really hard with love, but putting in that effort and planting those seeds and getting really clear about what we're creating and how we can take the next step to get there. Not all the steps, because with every step, the step after that changes, but to know what the vision is, and then to know what the next step is, and then to take that next step. And the next few days are the perfect time to be doing those things. Now let's look at this deck I was telling you about, the Modern Witch Tarot deck. And here on the front you can see there's the Magician. Okay, here it goes. Today was really fun. We went through, my love and I went through every single card in here, sort of like a storybook. And if you've never done that with a tarot deck, especially if you have the opportunity to get a new tarot deck, they usually come in order. And so you can sort of go through the whole deck and experience it like you're reading a storybook. And I think it's a really good way of understanding how the journey of the cards is the journey of human experience, because you see how we go from the Fool and then make our way through the transformations up until the World. It was actually pretty emotional, probably because Venus and the Moon are together. But now you are live. You're watching the first time this deck is going to be shuffled. So it's kind of like watching a baby being born, because here you have this kind of like potential idea of this perfection, but what is about to happen is it's about to get mixed with reality and the unknown and the mystery and the winding nature, the 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, 5 steps forward, 5 steps forward, 10 steps forward, 5 steps back nature of life, where it's just things are mysterious. And so let's mix it up. Oh, they're so pretty, aren't they? The light blue. Okay. So we are nice and shuffled. And I'm going to cut the deck twice. And replace it. This is so exciting, the first reading of the new deck. I just want to take a moment here with my hands covering all the cards and just send them some love energy, like Reiki. Just checking in and feeling my heart and feeling the love that's there, and the goodwill and the hope and the faith and the joy and the connection. And let that feeling fill my heart and fill my whole body. I can feel it running up and down from the bottom of my feet, my arms, my back, everything up the back of my neck, the top of my head, my face. I feel that energy flowing through my body and flowing into this deck of cards, infusing them with that purity of intention, the love, the goodness, the life. And now I'm going to send this energy. I'm going to send some of it out to you and then into my own heart. I'm sending it all, not just some. I'm sending all of it as well. All of it into the cards. All of it to you. All of it to me, because it's actually all the same thing, because we are all one. So now that I have infused this deck with that love and light and life and shadow and warmth and everything good, all love, I'm going to send that to you. Ready? Feel that where you need it and everywhere, and enjoy. And now I'm going to send it to my own heart. In gratitude for keeping this body in this life, in this moment, together with you. Thank you. All right, let's pick 3 cards. One, 2, 3. Maybe this can have to do with the new moon coming up. We'll see. Maybe with Venus, the moon. Our first card in the first reading from this new deck together is the Page of Cups. Isn't that perfect? So here we have a lady, a young lady, a girl, and she's holding a cup, and she's by the water, and she's got a nice smile on her face. It's a card of beginnings, of hope, joy, excitement, and interest. And so we've just been talking about how the moon is with Venus today in Libra. And this is also, she has a very Libra kind of hairstyle, the 2 buns. It's like the balanced of the scales. So I would say this is a very Venus conjunct moon in Libra card, like where we are tonight. And it invites us to have those qualities of the Page of Cups. It should be oriented toward love, sweetness, hopefulness, and balance. And to know that we're always at the beginning of a journey, because every moment is new and the future is always unknown. And so it's always a chance to be interested in how to love, how to continue loving. Our second card, the Tower. A beautiful reminder that when something seems like it's falling apart, that it's normal to feel pain. It's normal for fearful thoughts or emotions to pop up. But it's also important to keep on remembering that things are not always permanent. Most things, except for maybe love, aren't actually. So much changes, and things are destroyed, especially things that weren't necessarily built to last, and that there's always light coming up ahead after that, and that something stronger can be built, and that while grief or fear can be things that need to be processed, that in the end it's just It's just a moment, just a challenge, just a turning point, and an opportunity. And of course, it's also an opportunity not only to create something new in your own life, but to be a more compassionate person about what others go through. Because when we go through a challenge, it's probably something that other people have gone through, and now we have all of these people that we can empathize with and probably help that maybe we couldn't before. Our third card for tonight, the Seven of Swords. Okay. What a beautiful card. So here we have a woman who is walking away from a house, and she's holding these seven swords, looking back over her shoulder. And it's funny because when I saw this card as we were going through the deck today in order, I did think to myself, I really need to look up the Seven of Swords again, because this is one of those cards that I don't have as intuitive a connection with. I don't completely feel like I deeply understand what the meaning is of this card yet. So it's something I want to meditate on. And if you are watching this and you feel a deep connection with the Seven of Swords, I would love to hear about it. But there's this element of escape, of battery mode. And so that means we might have to wrap up very soon, because I don't want to lose this in case you're watching the replay. I want you to actually be able to watch it, and then it doesn't disappear. So the Seven of Swords, they can be something like, are you leaving something behind? Is it a choice that you're making to keep yourself safe? Is it a positive choice? Is there a chance that you're leaving something for a reason that isn't serving you? I think it's a good thing to look, it helps to look back sometimes and think about why we are, if we're escaping something, why are we doing that? And just make sure that there isn't something that is inside of us that we are running away from instead of something in our environment, because we do sometimes need to leave things in our environments, but a lot of the time it might be a thought that we need to learn from so we don't find ourselves in a certain situation. Again, it all depends. Clearly I need to do some meditating on this card, which I will do. But you're welcome to look it up on your own as well. And some things to think about until tomorrow. So, interest, love, humility, remembering the big picture and having grace through challenging moments, and being very careful about what it is that we're leaving, if we're leaving something, whether it's a thought pattern or a place, and whether we are making sure that we're taking good care when doing something like that. Okay, well, thank you for being here. It was such a joy to initiate this deck together. It made it really special. And wow, okay, last thing. This is exciting. You know how I like to look at the card on the bottom after doing the reading before putting it away? I always think it's a nice little button on the reading. Here we have the Fool on the bottom of the deck. Card 0, the very beginning of the journey. A card that I resonate with very strongly. And it's all about stepping into the unknown, beginning a journey, and how all beginnings, all journeys, we are fools. We don't know everything. As someone very wise, my wife, the most beautiful woman in the world, said today when we were talking about something, life, we don't come with user manuals. We don't know so much, but we just keep going forward and up with an open heart, and that is the beginning of everything and the only way to move through. So there you have it, and let's take a couple breaths together, and then we'll say good night for tonight, but we'll be back here tomorrow. And I'm sorry that I didn't put any notice that I wouldn't be here yesterday, but I hope you understand. Okay, ready? Let's take a couple deep breaths. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bless you. Have a beautiful evening, and I will see you tomorrow night.